Hey everybody, Joe with Joe Knows Cryptos live here, and it's about 9:15 here, so I'm not going to make a real long video here, but just wanted to talk a little bit about three topics. I'm going to go over them fairly quick. First one is going to be silver versus Bitcoin, and why I kind of changing my mind on everything. So I had a comment after my last video, someone who was talking about silver and how great silver is and how everyone should be in silver. And I stacked silver for a short time when it had its last little run up. I think it maybe made it up to around $38, $40, something like that, right? And I started looking into it more because, if you go on YouTube, you can watch videos where people will hype whatever you want to hear hyped. Like if you like silver, you can find videos where people will talk about how great silver is all day long. But if you go ahead on your computer right now and you pull up a chart, the historical chart of silver, which I have here. So if you look at the price of silver today, it's $17.17, right? Now, this is with the coronavirus going around. This is with the shaky stock market. This is when silver and gold are supposed to shine. This is when they're supposed to come on strong, and they haven't done it. So anyway, the price of silver today at $17.17. Does anyone out there have an idea of what the price of silver was in 1916? Or let's go to 1918 at its highest point. 1917, 1918. Silver costs about $17.80 an ounce. Almost the exact same price. And that's 100 years ago, people. I mean, how could that be a good investment? With inflation and cost of mining increasing, cost of labor to get the stuff out of the ground increasing, and it's the same price today as it was 100 years ago. So if you pull up that chart, you can pull it up, macrotrends.net, historical silver prices. It gives a 100-year chart of silver. So there were two silver bull periods. The first one started in 1972, where silver went from about $8.50, and it went up to $101.33. But that only lasted, that bull run lasted from April 1978 so it lasted for about 3 years, about a 3-year bull run. And then silver went all the way back down to $6.62 in 1993. And it went even lower in 2001. It went down to $6.10. Then that last little bull run it had, it went up to, it actually went up to $55.74. And here it is back down to $17.70 or 17 cents. How can you tell me that silver is a good investment? It had two bull runs that were very short-lived. And I know there's arguments out there that it's supposed to keep up with inflation, but obviously it doesn't. There's an argument out there that, well, we're making more computers and solar panels and cell phones that use silver that'll never be recovered. But we've already been doing that for 20 years. And the price of silver, I mean, it maybe hasn't gone down quite as low. Maybe it's keeping up with inflation a little bit better now, but still not a good return on investment, even in times when things are shaky. This is when it's supposed to be moving, and it's not. what did I want to say? Okay, so they also stopped making, now you could say the argument for the computers, semiconductors, things like that, is true because silver is used for those. But don't forget, they also stopped using silver for silverware. Pretty much when you got married back, 30, 40 years ago and beyond, you pretty much got silverware for your wedding gift. People had silver punch bowls and silver chandeliers. They used silver for a lot more things. They had silver in coins. Now, naturally, the government stopped using silver in coins because aluminum is a lot cheaper than silver. So why not make it more profitable to use aluminum instead of silver? But I don't know. I kind of was hypnotized by the silver bugs and the stacking and all this. How it, maybe in a total shit hits the fan scenario, it might be something. But I don't know, man. It's if you look at the chart, just go ahead and look at that chart. I think you'll be very disheartened. So Stephen McCoy has on here, historically, it's 43 to 1 to gold. Now it's about 90 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. It's supposed to be a great buy. This is Steve McCoy. They say silver price is manipulated by the bad guys, and when the government loses control of money, it will shoot up. We will see, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I've heard the same arguments, but well, okay, JP Morgan has tons of silver. Here's why I don't think silver will really shoot up. They literally have tons of silver. They have bars, they have coins, they've been stockpiling silver forever. So when you've got a company like Apple that needs to buy, say they need to buy a lot of silver, or somebody starts making solar panels, do you think they're going to go on the open market to buy it? No. JP Morgan is the one who lends them the money to open their mines, credit to pay for their employees, to look for new facilities and research. JP Morgan, I don't want to say has them by the balls, but they have some influence over these companies. They say, if you're going to buy silver, you're going to buy it from us. If you buy silver from us, we'll keep the price where it's affordable. We'll manipulate the market and keep it affordable for you. Now, if you go buy it from some miner over there, over time, he can keep jacking that price up on you, and it's going to not be cost effective for you. You buy it from JP Morgan, we have our own mines that we own. We'll get the silver from there, and we'll also make money on manipulating the paper market of silver. So we'll drive up the price a bit, and then we'll flood the market with a bunch of our silver, drive the price down, we'll buy our silver back, long the market, price of silver goes back up, we'll short the market, we'll flood the market with all our silver, drive the price down, make money on it that way. So they're making money no matter which way the price of silver goes. JP Morgan's got the market manipulated, that's true. And they're going to control it. And what can anybody do about it? Really nothing. And plus, like I said, if you see the price of silver go too high, these companies are not going to be able to make computers that are affordable for people to buy. Cell phones, these items are already borderline for a lot of people to buy. They have to save up to buy these things, or they have to go on payment plans and things like that. Cell phones nowadays, $800,000 cell phones. People just usually don't buy them. They usually go under a contract with the cell phone company and pay the phone off after a couple of years, and by that time, it's time to upgrade to your new phone, right? So I used to stack silver, and I got very disheartened when I saw that chart, and I started thinking about the manipulation. How can you fight the manipulation of a monster like JP Morgan? It's nearly impossible. Now, if JP Morgan ever crashes, then everything's going to crash, and they're probably going to stop making computers and stuff like that anyway. Here's another thing to think about. If silver price starts to go up too high, you know how many people have been stacking silver for decades? There's probably tons of silver in people's vaults all around the world and in America. silver gets up to 50 bucks, a bunch of people are going to come in and dump a bunch of silver on the market, driving the price back down. Goes up to 100 bucks, a bunch of silver is going to get dumped on. There's going to be some that are going to hold it until see how high it can actually go. But a lot of people are going to take some profits out of it, and as they take profits, they're dumping it on the market. Now it's less scarce. More mines are going to open when it gets more valuable because they're making money on it now. All that just floods the market with silver. The price of silver goes down. The only time I really think silver, and this is not financial advice, but I'm just thinking about it, the only time it's really going to be beneficial is if there's a total shit hit the fan scenario where electricity grid is down, you can't get to the bank to withdraw money, and you can't take credit cards, and then you'll have something to trade with the silver. But that'll only be good for so long too, because there's going to be a point when people are going to decide, is it more valuable for me to take that ounce of silver or that piece of silver, or to hold on to my food that I need to eat, or to trade my food for something else? Things that are actually going to have a purpose at some point, if there's a total shit hit the fan scenario, will be more valuable than silver as well, because you can't eat silver, you can't sleep on silver. You can use it as a trade tool, but at that point you'll be able to use anything that somebody else needs as a trade tool. So I just see a very limited, very small opportunity for silver. Like say, you look at that 100-year chart, you could have bought anything 100 years ago, and just with the price of inflation, it would be worth more than if you bought silver 100 years ago. For silver to be the same price today as it was 100 years ago, and for it to have two runs that were very brief, just to me is proof enough that it doesn't have a upward pattern at all. It has a pattern of flat, down, flat, spike up, spike straight down, flat, 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 down, spike straight up, spike straight down, flat, flat, flat. Unless you hit those spikes that it has every 30, 40 years or whatever, to me, it just seems like it's a tool for the government for you to spend your money on and keep your money in something that doesn't appreciate in value. You could have bought any stock 100 years ago. If the company's still in business, you would have made way more than in silver. You could have bought a candle, a regular old candle 100 years ago. And just with the price of inflation, you probably could have bought a candle for, a quarter. And today, maybe it's worth, $3 or $4. So it X'd in price 12 times. Silver's still the same price. All right, that's just my opinion on that. Let me just read a few more of these comments while I'm talking about silver, because I know that this part is probably going to get some people mad. But trust me, guys, I stacked silver for a while, and this is my opinion. And if I'm wrong here, let me know where I'm wrong. But I think what I'm saying makes sense here. All right, so hey, buddy, YouTuber stated, if a catastrophe happens in the repo market, then there are some people who bought the insurance on these instruments will make tons of money. Maybe that's what they are doing, possibly. Like I said, they're going to make money no matter which way the market goes. 5 new computer viruses are out. Very scary. Locks all your websites, passwords, Google. Oh, really? Computer virus out there? Oh, yeah. There's all kind of viruses out there now, huh? Do you like cryptos better? I'm going to talk about that next, Stephen. James, Coinbase is using AI facial recognition now. Why? That's scary. They're trying to track everything, don't like that, but viruses die on contact with silver. Yeah, silver has benefits. Don't get me wrong. It's good for health reasons. One of the reasons that they use silverware and dishes and plates back in the day is because when you ate on it, there are some beneficial health benefits to ingesting very trace, minute particles of silver, which some may just rub off on your teeth, or through the process of scraping your fork or spoon on the plate, you might just get a trace amount, and it actually has good health benefits to it that way. It's good at fighting off illnesses and sicknesses. Now, if too much of it's bad for you, but very small trace amounts are good. And that's one of the reasons why the wealthy used to eat off of silverware. They found that it was actually had health benefits to it. Silver doesn't live on a silver coin. It's in a paper money bag circulated through. You can lick a silver coin. 75 years ago, they gave medicine on a silver spoon. Yeah, they did. And that part of it was because silver had beneficial health benefits. Crypto is without a doubt a superior form of money. Fortunately, crypto is pegged to stock market charts prove it. Okay, so let me talk quickly about the coronavirus. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I know there's a lot of coverage on it in the news right now. But in my opinion, again, not financial advice, the Fed just cut the rates a half a percentage point, which is a pretty big drop. Trump wants them to drop it even more. It just seems like everything right now is headed for the perfect storm for silver. Silver, for cryptos to take off. It just seems like if we ever go into negative interest rates, you can go onto crypto.com, MCO is the name of their token. You can get a free card. You can get the app on your phone, and you can buy their CRO token, and they'll pay you 16%. And they pay it daily. You know how in a bank, how they used to give you 1 or 2%, some of them still might do that, which is soon to end. You can go on crypto.com. You can just take your money from your bank, your savings account, buy some CRO, which is their token, and get 16% interest paid daily. You can stake, I think there's about 5 to 10 different cryptos you can put on there and stake. And I think the least that they pay is 3%, which is still better than any bank. People are going to see this. They're going to realize that, they can make a lot more money just saving it, even putting it in a stable coin. You can earn 8% on Nexo, on crypto.com. There's quite a few different platforms where you can just, if you like dollars that much and you don't want to risk your money with cryptos, you can just put them in stable coins, which are attached to the dollar's price, and earn money that way instead of putting it in the bank where you're going to be losing money. All right, so that's one huge advantage that cryptos have right now. The select few that pay the interest on it. Another one is India just had a ban on crypto, and they just allowed people, their whole country. Now there's a lot of poor people that probably don't even have cell phones or the ability to purchase cryptos, but there's still people there that can buy and sell cryptos. And I know America had a meeting with them about doing more trade, and hey, we start doing more trade with India, that's going to bring more money into India and more money for people to buy cryptos with. All right, that's 2. 3, the Fed is printing hundreds of $billions every day. That money's going to find its way into crypto. But this coronavirus, guys, I think it's a head fake. They dropped a half a point. That's what I meant to talk about. I would not be putting my money in the stock market, not financial advice. I'm personally not. If I do anything, I'm going to short the market. Again, not financial advice. Shorting is more risky than longing in the long term. But if this coronavirus, it's just kind of still new. But now, yesterday we had 1 or 2 deaths. Today we're up to 9 deaths. Tomorrow we might be up to, 15 or 18. The thing with this coronavirus is it starts small, but it doubles in number of deaths every day and people that catch it. And it may seem like a small thing now, but it could really balloon into something where people are afraid to go out in large crowds. You already see airlines, people do not want to fly. So what do you think is going to happen to airline stocks? Cruise ships. That you had those people on that cruise ship stuck. What do you think is going to happen to cruise ships? Prices, stocks, trains, concert tickets, restaurants. where people are around each other and eating, and your dish is coming from a dishwasher. Maybe he's got the coronavirus and he's coughing on his hand, and then he puts it in the dishwasher, which is fine because it gets sanitized. But who takes it out of the dishwasher? The same guy. They have one dishwasher. He does everything. He puts the dishes in and he takes them out. Now the coronavirus is on your plate and now you're eating it. Or maybe your waiter has it. Who knows? I mean, people could become fearful of going out. That would be the worst case scenario if people just stop spending money on things. Other worst case scenarios are just that, supplies are not coming in from China. That's going to hurt stores' bottom lines, because if you don't have as many things to sell, then naturally you're not making as much money. That's going to hurt your bottom line, which is going to hurt your stock price. The stock market is going to suffer from this. There's no doubt about it. I don't care how low they drop interest rates. If people are afraid to buy, or there's just nothing to buy that they want because it's not available, because it's not being shipped in, that's going to hurt the stores, the grocery stores and the electronic stores, and it's not going to be good. It's stock market right now to me is like a boxer who just got knocked down for an 8 count, and he just came standing back up, and his legs are wobbling underneath him, and his eyes are kind of looking around, and he's not quite sure where he even is yet. But the referee lets him go, and the other fighter sees this and just is ready to go in there and just clobber him. That's what the stock market looks like to me right now. It's like it's 8 count with a 0.5 point interest rate cut. May help it for a few days, but just keep a close eye on the deaths with the coronavirus, because as the death toll rate rises, fear and panic is going to set in, and that is going to affect everything. So Stephen asked if I do like cryptos better. I do. It just seems like this is the perfect storm for cryptocurrencies. If they were a little better known, if people trusted them a little bit more, knew a little bit more about them, I think that we would really see a huge spike in cryptocurrencies. Because there's a lack of knowledge in it, I still think it's going to take a little bit of time for them to go nuts, but the market cap is so small, it's not going to take a lot of money going in there for them to go crazy. And, people are sheep. People see stock market going down and crypto's going up. Once a few people going in there, the herd's going to go in there. And when the herd goes in there, the prices can go out of sight. Coinbase, yeah, let's see. Fires now. I'm just reading through some of these comments here. Like I said, this is not going to be a long video today. Silver doesn't live on silver coin. It's in the paper bag. Okay, I read that. Yep. Silver has been manipulated, but I think it's also the miners have a lot to do with it. They can open mines and close mines, and they're probably bought out by J.P. Morgan and people at top too. These Keith Neumeyers and things like that, who own these mines, can come out here and talk about how they think silver should be worth $100, but who knows how legit they even are. Just because they own the mine, they're multi-millionaires. They might be getting paid just to say that. Crypto is without a doubt a superior form of money. Used as a cryptocurrency is just one of the many uses for cryptos as well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a ledger that cannot be counterfeited, duplicated, messed with, fooled with in any way. Plus, it can be used as money. Unfortunately, crypto is pegged to stock market. The charts have proved it. I wouldn't say that, because last year crypto had a really bad year, and the stock market seemed to hit all-time highs on a weekly basis. Cryptos have only been around for 10 years, so I don't think you can really say that it's pegged to the stock market. Now, there are some cryptos that are stocks, but don't forget, things like gold and silver, they can dig up out of the ground. Who knows how much there is? Nobody knows. There could be, they could find a mine of gold that's, they can pull 100,000 tons out of, but we know how much Bitcoin there is. right? That can't be manipulated. It can be manipulated for a while. People, whales, the JP Morgans of the world, can sell it down and try to put fear in the market. But the thing is, every day the base grows just a fraction because hodlers every day buy a little Bitcoin. So once it hits that level where the hodlers hold strong, it's never going to go below that. You know what I'm saying? They can bring it way up and drop it to try to scare people. Then some people will sell out until it hits that solid ground where the hodlers are. And then every day that goes by, every year that goes by, the number of hodlers is going to keep increasing where that basement gets higher and higher. So no matter how hard they try to scare people out, it's not going to be able to go down as low as it did before. Sooner or later, when people are more knowledgeable about Bitcoin, they're going to see that drop as the real buying opportunity. And then all this other money from just regular consumers is going to come in and start to gobble up the Bitcoin that the JP Morgans of the world are trying to scare people with. Now JP Morgan's going to be a little more hesitant. Well, gee, there's not that much Bitcoin, and here we are trying to scare people out. But when we're selling it to try to drop the market, other people are coming in and buying up our Bitcoin. We don't want to lose our Bitcoin. So the manipulation will eventually end with Bitcoin. Just that right now it is such a small market cap. But I mean, why do you think Russia, China, America, Germany, all these countries are opening up these huge mining facilities? Because it's going to be because when, they may only be able to mine, say they can only mine one Bitcoin a day. But if Bitcoin is worth $1 million a day, it's a pretty nice profit. You know what I mean? Or even a half. Who knows how high Bitcoin's going to be? The way that they're setting up these facilities makes me think that the price of Bitcoin is going to be way higher than $1 million. It's hard to believe right now, but that's the only thing that makes sense. Why would they be pouring hundreds, maybe $millions into one of these facilities if they didn't think they were going to make that money back tenfold? There's going to be a day when you're not going to be able to get Bitcoin. You're not going to be able to buy Bitcoin because there's not any left. And as soon as it becomes available, it's sold. It's gobbled up. You know what I mean? You're going to have all these buyers and just a little bit of Bitcoin that's mined every day after the next halvening, or, as a few halvenings go by. And when that happens, every little fraction of dust of Bitcoin, you could be the wealthiest person in the world and say, I want that Bitcoin. I will pay the premium. I'll pay you top dollar for it. But they're not going to be able to get it because when it comes out, as soon as it comes out, that miner has it. The miner decides who gets it, and the miner just probably going to keep it for themselves, for their country, whatever. Only makes sense to me. Let's see. Bitcoin ATMs are all over USA now. Probably more private to buy crypto from an ATM and let them give you paper wallet and go hide it. Yeah, I heard you still have to do some KYC. I heard you still have to show maybe a driver's license or something like that. I've only seen one video on it, and I can't recall all the details. I know it seems like it's a pretty easy process. You can go in there, you can buy it with cash or with a credit card, I think. For some reason, I'm thinking you have to have them take a picture of your ID, though. I'm not positive on that. But once you have it, whether you have it on a paper wallet or you have it on a hardware wallet, it can be anywhere. Heck, you don't even need a wallet as long as you can remember the keys to your wallet. The code, the keys that the wallet gives you. Then you can buy a wallet at any time, put in those words, and bam, you've got your money, which is amazing. I wouldn't trust myself to memorize whatever the 12 word seed or whatever these wallets have, but if you're that smart or you have a group of people, you remember these 3 words, you remember 3, I'll remember 3, and then we'll each remember a 4th in case one of us dies. We'll each be able to come together and get the other person's words, phrase. Let's see. Interest rates will have to go to 0 or -0, and you will have to pay to leave you. Yeah, yeah, they're actually talking about that today on the radio. Trump wants them to go to negative rates. He said even though the Fed dropped a half a point, that he doesn't think that's enough. He wants negative interest rates. And in a way, we have to do it to compete with the rest of the world because right now there's 5 countries that have negative interest rates. People have to pay to leave their money in the banks. Why would you do that when you can have a crypto.com app on your phone and make at least 8% on stable coins, which is stable. It's not going to go down. It's not going to fluctuate in price more than a few pennies one way or the other, just like the dollar. And then if you want to be a little more, as people start to do that, they'll start getting into Bitcoin when they see the price go up, and Litecoin and these other cryptos. But who the hell is going to put their money in the bank and pay to leave their money in a bank? Other than paying your bills, you leave the bare minimum in there. In Australia, they just passed a law where you can't pay cash for anything over $10,000. That's not a great reason to get into crypto. If you want to buy a car and you want to pay with cash, you can't pay with cash. Or you do 2 years in jail. It's not that you just can't do it. They gave you 2 years in jail. Australia just passed this law. If you buy something with cash over $10,000, that way there's no runs on the banks. The banks always have your money, and they'll be able to charge you interest on it. There's no motivation to take your money out of the bank, because if you pay with cash for too much, you go to jail. Get your money out of the bank too. Yeah. Guys, I don't know how many of you know this, but there's not enough money in print to pay everybody who has money in the bank. So if there was ever a run on the bank, you wouldn't get your money out. The bank would shut the doors because they can't make enough money. It's all digital. It just blips on a screen. Say you have an automatic, you at your job, you have an automatic wire draft into your checking account, right? That's how they pay you. They don't actually send what do you make that week, $600, and put it in your bank. They just say $600, boop, 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 and they just type it, and boop, 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 you have $600 in your account. There's not actual cash. If there was ever a run on the banks, you wouldn't be able to get your money. And if things ever did get bad and banks closed down for whatever reason, or we lost power, it's always good to have a little bit of cash on hand. I have a little bit of silver. I don't go crazy stacking silver anymore for the reasons I just told you about, and have some supplies. If anybody's phone is getting old, or your computer is getting old, and you're thinking about getting a new one, I would probably suggest now is a good time as any to do it, because you might not be able to get it if China shuts down all their factories and they stop sending stuff this way. You might have to wait a long time to get a new computer or a new phone, or you may have to pay 2 or 3 times what it's worth. What you can pay for it today. If you didn't buy in, you lost out. Maybe 3 minutes. Price will. Oh, still have. All right, this is James Van Hart. Still have plus token coins to hit the market. And the last batch sold from Mt. Gox to hit the market. That's right. I mentioned that in another video, a few other videos before this. One last big drop, maybe in 3 minutes, the price will skyrocket. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing with Bitcoin. You don't know when the price can go nuts. All it would take is one country to say, we're going to start adding Bitcoin to our reserve funds. That's all it would take. Forget about it. That would instantly give crypto a validity that a government now has faith in it. And if a government has faith in it, then so will the people. Right now, since the governments don't really back crypto or talk about it in a positive light, at least, people are still hesitant. They need to be told what to do. A lot of people need to be told what to do by the government. I'm for one who I think smaller government is better. We don't need as much government. There are some people that need help, but we need smaller government. Glad TV, ha 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 ha. Oh, let's see. Investment advisor told me last week, when the banks fail, the government will shut the doors and take control of your safe deposit box and will take your assets to help out their own losses. When the banks fail, I don't know if there will or will not be, another bailout. I'm thinking no. I'm thinking there'll be enough people, there'll be enough people who won't stand for it after the last one, bailing out the bankers, and now they're, look at Jamie Dimon. I mean, all these bankers are all richer than they've ever been. All the small banks lost out. All the big mega banks became richer than ever before. It didn't help us at all. They said it would have collapsed the whole economy, which it might have, but now we have cryptos to fall back on. In other countries, they have actually, I know in Greece, I don't know if it's still like that, but from what I understand, it is. You can only take like $50 a day out of your account, no matter how much money you have in there. You can have $1 million in your checking account, but they'll only let you withdraw $50 a day. Yeah, I mean, the government can do basically whatever the heck they want to do. The boxer analogy, yeah, yeah, Gladden TV. I try. Japan closed all schools for like 3 months. 14 cities in China are under lockdown. Yeah, Italy, coronavirus is going crazy in Italy as well. Iran, it's still pretty calm here, but how long does it take for actual panic to set in? I mean, I lived in Florida when they'd have hurricanes, and when they announced there was a hurricane on the way, you go in the store, all the milk, all the bread, all the everyday household supplies would be gone, just gone. And if the hurricane ever hit within a day, the entire store would be absolutely, every shelf would be clean. And that's a day. Can you imagine every single person in your town going to the store and buying as much as they could afford to buy? Walking out with 2-3 shopping carts full of stuff. It doesn't take long for the stores to empty out, and especially if there's not new supplies coming in, it could get scary. That's why I just say, what does it hurt to stock up on some extra food? A couple of weeks worth. It doesn't hurt. Let's see. I'm frustrated with my little bit of silver. It's done nothing price-wise, but it's better than nothing in case it does go high. Yeah, I mean, that's how I felt for the longest time too on silver. It's like, you keep watching these videos where people keep saying, yeah, it's just, should be a quarter of the price of gold, and it's, it's more scarce. It's, it's being used in all these things, all these products, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. Just look at the 100-year chart. Do it yourself with your own eyes. Look at it. 100 years ago, silver was the same price as it is today. Even with inflation, it should be higher than that. You know what I mean? If I bought this cup 100 years ago, it would be worth more today. It would have gone up more in value than silver. Just because of inflation and the cost to produce it would be higher today. I probably could have bought this cup for a nickel back in the day, and now maybe it costs 50 cents. That's a 10x. And silver is the same price. I mean, why not? Why don't you just start stacking cups, plastic cups? Stack anything. You can stack anything. Thing is it going to be going up in value? Right, with the Bitcoin mining, negative interest rates. Thanks, James. Appreciate that. Major interest rates mean the collapse of the financial system is near. Yeah, I hope the whole Fed goes under personally. I would just love to see a whole new system go into place where the rulers of this world lose their power. It's not going to be easy, but I think that's some of the struggles that the whole world is going through right now. There's turmoil all over the world. James Benhart, South Korea, if you break quarantine first time, 2 years in jail and $10,000 fine. Forget what the second break quarantine was, much stiffer. Wow, I didn't know that. Bitcoin halving is going to be very soon. Yep, they're saying maybe, probably May sometime. It's just everything is going right for Bitcoin right now. You know, it's just everything is going right for it. It's just going to be when's the adoption going to take place? When is the Main Street people going to start jumping into it? And once that happens, it's like, man, it's like gasoline, and it's like there's a flame being waved back and forth over it. It could ignite at any time from the heat, from a spark, from a little piece of a spark that flies off the rag onto the gasoline. Could be anything, you know. It's so close. I think I wasn't sure about it this year, but things are changing rapidly. Rapidly. If you asked me 2 weeks ago what I thought Bitcoin would do, I'd say maybe go up to 25,000. You know, little fluctuation, Mt. Gox, different problems coming in. It's probably going to keep the price pretty level. I'm starting to change my thinking now, though. JP Morgan had some documents stating the bank does not insure the lock boxes. I bought some dual passing. Yeah, I heard that that they can take your lockbox. That in times of emergency they can take what's in your lockbox. Once Josh M. Once someone drops on the street here, stock market will crumble immediately. Yeah, people in America tend to, hype. There's a lot of hype in America. There's a lot of propaganda. And, if one person drops, you're going to see that on the news all day long on every station. And that's all that people are going to think about. I'm going to die. Am I going to die if I go out? They're saying it's about 2% of the people who catch the coronavirus die. With the flu, it's about 0.04% of the people die. So even though 2%, at 2 out of every 100 people doesn't seem like that much compared to the flu, it's quite a bit more. So they're saying mainly affecting elderly, sickly people, males more than women, not children so much. So children have been faring pretty well with it. Take vitamin C every day, guys, at least 1,500 milligrams of vitamin C. They're saying that that's been working good. Taking it throughout the day, not just don't take it in the morning, take maybe 1,000 in the morning, 1,000 in the afternoon, 1,000 in the evening, and it helps the cells that fight the coronavirus stay strong. That's what they're saying. They're saying they actually have been giving, as one of the treatments, a vitamin C drip, IV drip, that's been working pretty well. Gladden TV, truthfully, I had a dream nightmare last night. The XRP went to hundreds of thousands of dollars. The scary thing about it was that the scary thing about all this was everyone about a 3 to 5 minute window. This sound. You really had a dream like that? That's hilarious. XRP, Ripple actually said the only way that they make money is by selling XRP. If you hold XRP, knowing that the company Ripple, the only way they make money is by selling the XRP, which naturally drives down the price. I don't know, man. I'm not going to talk about XRP because whenever I do, people come on here like crazy and say, don't knock XRP. Don't be a... But guys, ugh. All right. James, I heard it's up to 70,000 Bitcoin ATMs. Is it that many? Hey, that's great. like I said, it's one of these things. It's just a familiarity. Once somebody sees uh, Bitcoin the first time, they wonder what it is. They probably don't think about it at all, but they've seen it and it got stored in their memory bank. Then they hear somebody talk about it, gets a little bit stored in their memory bank. Still not ready to act on it, but maybe it's the 20th time that you see or hear about it that you start to look into it. And once you start to look into it, before you know it, you're buying it. Let's see, Steven, Joe, it's easy to get caught in all the hype, panic watching YouTube. Yeah. I mean, that's the news cycle. The news wants to talk about things that are getting views, right? And if coronavirus is getting views, then they're going to pump it. Overdo it, right? Absolutely. Man, this angle makes me look fat. Makes me look like I got man boobs or something. Let me move this computer up. I can stand to lose a few pounds, but that's not an attractive angle. Patriot Act stated that they can take whatever they want from your house. No. Yeah, if you actually get pulled over in a car and you've got cash on you, they can take the cash from you and they can keep it for an unlimited amount of time. You actually have to fight them in court to get it back lots of times. And all they have to do is say that you were a suspect of illegal activity, drug dealing. They can make up whatever they want and they can just take your cash. And you can actually go on YouTube and you can hear horror stories of people who had, $8,000 in their car. They just took money out of the bank. They were going to go on vacation, whatever it may be, got pulled over by the cops. Cops searched their car, found the money, and confiscated it. And they can't get it back. It seems illegal, and it should be illegal, but the law is if they suspect you of doing, and they can accuse you of anything to take your money. All it has to be is an accusation. They don't even have to prove anything. So Busy Mountain's given some health advice here. Vitamin C that we talked about. Colloidal silver, yes, is supposed to be a bacteria virus killer. I also heard, I had something else up here, but I can't remember what it was. Fermented foods, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha. I'll have to look into those. Let's see. Do you think cell phone wallets are safe? That's something I struggle with. And personally, what I do is I don't keep all my eggs in one basket. So got your hardware wallet, maybe keep, the majority of it there. Keep a little on that MCO wallet where I'm making interest, keep some on the Nexo wallet where I'm making interest. And then maybe a couple other places. That way, if one thing gets stolen or one thing gets hacked or one thing gets, you lose or whatever it may be, you don't lose everything. That's kind of what I suggest. I actually have multiple hardware wallets where I keep crypto just in case, there's a fire in my house and, whatever, they get destroyed, they get robbed, somebody takes them, whatever it may be. You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. That's what I would suggest. The cell phones are convenient because you have it with you, and if you want to trade throughout the day or check your market or check your portfolio, it's just a cool thing to do. I think it's just fun to do. If they're safe, I don't know. They say there's a lot of back doors into these phones. If you ever hear about any hacks, I would just act quickly to get it somewhere where you're sure that it is safe. I wouldn't leave a lot on the phone, but the main thing is if you have your keys somewhere, if you lose your phone gets stolen, that you'll still be able to get in and log into your wallet. That's probably the main thing. But people can hack things. People can hack your computer. Happened to my father. He bought some Bitcoin on Coinbase. Someone hacked his computer. got his was able to get into his email, and once they got into his email, they were able to email Coinbase and get into his Coinbase account and change the phone number, the contact phone number, and I think they were just waiting for him to deposit more money into it, because they could have taken it at that time, and as soon as he logged in to change, he saw that phone number in there that wasn't his in his Coinbase account, and he went to change it. And as soon as he changed it, I don't know if they had something worked out where if anything happened to their phone number, but they instantly logged him out, and I think they sold all the Bitcoin or transferred it to another account or whatever, and he ended up, I'm pretty sure he lost it. I'm not positive, but they could have taken it sooner than that. I think they were just waiting to see if he was going to put more money in there so they can take more, because he didn't notice that they had already hacked his account. A good talker makes me laugh. Guy, I'm actually usually I'm pretty funny guy. Just I'm a little more serious because I'm talking about something I'm trying to get my messages through. But yeah, I'm pretty fun guy to hang out with, I guess. In my high school yearbook, I was voted best personality. Not that I'm bragging or anything, but you know, people. I tend to be just a likable guy. People feel like they know me as soon as they meet me. Just one of those type of people. Buy as much as you can for as little as you can. We won't always be able to buy at these prices. I agree, Gladden TV. I think this year is going to be the last year you're going to be able to get Bitcoin and a lot of these cryptos for the prices that we're seeing now. I think we're going through a big things this year, and next year it's just going to get even wilder. Chaga mushrooms, get them. Antiviral chaga mushrooms. All right. I've heard of chaga mushrooms. Ethereum and DeFi is where I am focused now. ETH-Link, EVT, alongside smallish amount of LTC. And this is Kundalini. Yes, Ethereum is looking good. DeFi, yep. It seems to be the thing here. You know, Chainlink. Chainlink's been on a tear, no doubt about it. Anything that can help cryptos work easier, that can help make it, I don't know what the word I'm looking for here, but just make it easier to use is going to be a big plus. And Link looks like they've got that a good grip on that right now, and they're really benefiting from it. We get some physical silver soon, 1 ounce coins. Kundalini, you certainly, you know, I'm not giving financial advice, so please, if you feel like silver is where you want to be, but I'm thinking maybe you might want to start stacking plastic cups, because in 100 years, you're probably not going to buy this plastic cup for the same price that you can buy it for today. For silver, you might be able to, because 100 years ago, you could buy an ounce of silver for the same price as where you're buying it today. And you can drink out of a plastic cup. All you can do with a silver coin is look at it. And it tarnishes, so you got to clean it. You touch it with your fingers. Are there any altcoins you are impressed with at this time? Yeah, I think if we do negative interest rates, I think altcoins that pay dividends or interest will benefit from that. From your regular consumers that don't want to dive into anything too scary, that want to buy stable coins and put it on like an MCO and get their 8% interest. You know, when it's either pay money to keep it in the bank or earn 8% by keeping it on an MCO wallet. And the great thing about the MCO wallet is you have a Visa card, so you can spend it just like it's a debit card from your bank, you know? So what makes it, if you're a logical person and you're looking at this, I've got $1,000. I've got $2,000. I put $1,000 in the bank. I'll put $1,000 on crypto.com. The $1,000 that I put in the bank, if I let it sit there for a year, it's only going to be worth $950 or less because they're charging me. MCO, my $1,000 is going to be worth, $1,100. All right, so you've already gained about $200 just if you don't do anything with it. Yeah, but with the bank account, I can have a debit card so I can pay for stuff. Well, guess what? With your MCO card, Crypto.com, you also have a credit card that you can use. So there really is no difference. The only difference is that banks are FDIC insured. Crypto.com is still a cryptocurrency, which is not. However, I transferred some Ethereum over to my Crypto.com to start earning 3% interest on it, and it didn't transfer right away. And they had a little chat screen, and I chatted with them, and they popped right back up. They emailed me the same night just to let me know they were looking into it. I hopped on there again. They said they knew what the problem was, what the holdup was. They sent me a follow-up email, and then they wrote me back, and they actually initiated a conversation with me saying it should be taken care of, check your account. And just like that, very good communication. Now, Coinbase, you try to talk to them, you get put on hold for 15 hours. They don't call you back. They give you a case number and then say your case has been resolved when they haven't even talked to you. Coinbase is really a joke. I was very impressed with MCO as well. So I think things like that will benefit. I think, of course, Bitcoin, Litecoin will benefit. Ethereum's going to benefit. Altcoins is what you asked about. I still like altcoins that you can buy on places like Coinbase. Tezos is another one that pays not as much interest, but still pays interest. And the price has been going up. Sometimes I hate to get into the ones that have gone up too much because you wonder if they're going to come back down. But the ones that are easy for the public to get into, where they don't have to buy Bitcoin and then move the Bitcoin over to this exchange and then figure out how to put in a limit order to buy this altcoin with their Bitcoin and do all the login and KYC and all that stuff again. It's too much for a lot of people. They want to be able to download an app on their phone, hit buy, and now you've got it. And those are the ones that are easy to buy, that are going to go up the most, in my opinion. So anything on Coinbase, the MCO wallet, you can buy a bunch of coins right on there, just like you can on Coinbase or Gemini or any of these places. Those are the ones I would pick from those. Pick up the ones that you like, your favorite from those kind of platforms. And those would be the altcoins that I like the most. I mean, there are some that will do good. I haven't really done a crusher in a while. Maybe I'll do a crusher of the month. But those are still my favorite ones, are going to be the ones that are easy for people to get. Bitcoin, Ben, is still shilling Divi. Well, Divi does pay a dividend as well. They're probably going to do very well because they pay you if you put, what's Divi at about? I think, because I keep an eye on that, it's about 1.4 cents. You have to buy 100,000 Divis. That's about $1,400. But out of that $1,400, it'll pay you about $70 a month. That's a damn good return, as long as it's not a Ponzi scheme. That's a damn good return. Will Litecoin ever get back near all-time high? It will eventually. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't have dropped as much as it did. I was kind of hoping it would stay a little bit stronger here when it had that little run up to where it go last night, 120, 140, whatever it did. I was kind of hoping it would have stayed around 100, but we all know how Litecoin does. It moves fast and furious when it moves. So yeah, I still have a lot of faith in Litecoin. When I buy coins, the card, I always show it in the currency purchase. And from overseas. Oh, that's purchase to be. When I buy coins with a card, it always show it to be either currency purchase and from overseas. Oh, really? I'm not too sure on that. But guys, wow, I talked a lot longer. It's an hour. I plan on doing like a 20-minute video. So guys, please give me a thumbs up, give me a like, subscribe, kiss your spouse, hug your boyfriend, girlfriend, give them a kiss too, pet your pets, hug your kids. God bless each and every one of you. Love y'all. Joe Knows Cryptos signing off. Oof, that was way too long. Bye now. Love y'all.